This is Terrence Andre Banks with Information Age Financial Solutions coming to you with an article I got from MSN Money. And it's talking, using the narrative as the coronavirus spreads, business announced the job layoffs. Now, I did a video before about how it's going to affect the real estate market, and that's just starting to unfold. There's another video I've done about the cities and what's unfolding with that. But what it comes down to is really what bases people's income and how, even though the narrative is projecting like this, we were bound to have a recession. We were overdue. And this just exemplifies just how bad and fragile our economy is. Dive right in. As always, I'm going to put a link inside the description. As coronavirus spreads, business announced nearly 900 layoffs, and the total could rise sharply. Okay, the coronavirus is rapidly forcing companies to lay off workers, and the job losses are likely to mount rapidly as the global health crisis drags on. U.S. companies have announced 893 jobs cuts as a result of the outbreak, according to outplacement firm challenger Gray and Christmas. The losses include 145 drivers at the Port of Los Angeles amid stalled shipments from China, 360 by Oyo Hotels, and 250 by Christie Lights, a stage lighting company. Canceled events led to 300 layoffs, including 175 related to South by Southwest Technology and Media Conference in Austin, Texas, Challenger says. Basic Fun, a toy maker made in Boca Raton, Florida, eliminated 18 jobs. Company CEO Jay Foreman told CNBC the firm had been hit with both supply disruptions from China and reduced demand. Demand in certain industries is dropping off a cliff, says Challenger Vice President Andrew Challenger. If the outbreak persists, he says, we're going to see continued layoffs, and they're really going to accelerate. The 893 layoffs track only those businesses that have announced cuts, and the actual number of jobs eliminated across the country is likely several times larger. Repeat that. The actual real numbers of jobs eliminated across the country is likely several times larger, Challenger says. The announced layoff includes 660 in entertainment and leisure, 145 in transportation, and 70 in energy. Challenger says the cuts will likely come in waves with manufacturing and supply chain companies and travel and tourism hit initially, followed by consumer service providers such as theaters, stores, restaurants, and hair salons. If the outbreak causes a deep recession, virtually all industries will shed workers, he says. Many of the job cuts are temporary, with workers likely to be rehired as the outbreak abates. But the way most Americans and a lot of companies are functioning, where everything is on credit and based on these very thin margins, even if they came back, I don't know if the company would even be around. Just throwing that little tidbit in, and that, just think about that as you continue moving on. With the course of the pandemic takes, highly uncertain economists differ sharply over how many jobs will eventually be eliminated. Dion Swanwick, chief economist of Grant Thornton, expects hundreds of thousands of job losses. I agree with her in that. Could be up to 1 million. Michelle Meyer, head of economics at Bank of America Merrill Lynch, believes hiring will pull back sharply, but the vast majority of companies will be reluctant to lay off employees in a tight labor market with widespread work shortages, assuming the crisis eases in a few months. Now, this is assuming the crisis eases in a few months. Really short article, definitely worth your time to pay attention to. The numbers could be staggering, and how depressions work for most people. If you laid off and your family's struggling, then you're in a depression. But with the mass amounts of things teetering edge, and we haven't had a recession in so long, all the coronavirus is doing is just putting the pin in the bubble that is probably going to pop in one way or another. If this video has been of value to you, please subscribe, leave some comments, and until my next video, I'm out.